So greetings and welcome to another segment of Wild Treasures of an Outdoorsman. Holy smokes, I turned on the camera. Hooked up. Oh my gosh. I think I'm gonna need the net for this one. Come on, baby. Oh, here we go. Look at that. I couldn't have timed that any better. I think that's the best one today. Yeah, I'll keep him. We'll fry him up. Anyway, we were gonna do a fishing video and talk about turkey hunting. So this is a good intro to that. Look at that. He's gonna fry up nice. I gotta move the camera now to put him in the ice chest. I got 4 or 5. I got 4 or 5 speckled perch, and I think that's my 3rd largemouth on live bait today. I'm in the Ocala National Forest fishing, and yeah, I'm pretty excited to be here. It's a beautiful day out today. I'm just killing time waiting for spring gobbler season. But yeah, I kind of like doing this. This is good. But I thought maybe while we were fishing, we'd talk about mistakes that I've made that you will too if you continue to press on with this thing we call turkey hunting, traditional turkey hunting. And I wanted to add this to our last video, because our last video was about spring gobbler season and traditional turkey hunting, and while it's in a very effective way to turkey hunt, it also is full of pitfalls and problems that you might arise. So we're going to talk about those. I really don't have an agenda for our video today. I'm just going to kind of spitball these topics and see what comes up. Hopefully they will help you, and me talking about maybe they help me too. I'm gonna put this line right back out there. I know that bass is shaking the cooler. Let's get this out there. So anyway, what are some of the mistakes you can make while turkey season, during turkey season, turkey hunting? The traditional way. One mistake that I've made is I've been set up and I know that there's a gobbling bird down in a stand of timber, and I want to call to that bird. And he starts gobbling. He pitches down and he's headed my way, but then he turns and he starts to leave. One mistake that I've made is to tell myself, well, I can get in front of that bird. I know where he's going. And I would leave my setup, gather up my things, maybe my decoys, my backpack, whatever. And off I would go, right, around that bird, try to get in front of him. And I'd get set up and I'd start calling to him, and he'd gobble, and I'd realize not only did I get further away from the bird, but now he is gobbling in the very location that I was set up in originally. And it's important to note that turkeys take note of where they hear birds. And many times, gobbling turkeys will leave an area only to come back. And yeah, that's where the key to patience comes in, and the importance of patience, and realizing that the hunt is never over until you get in the truck to go home. And yeah, that's key. There's been a lot of times when I've been and I've screwed up. So that's one mistake that I've made. Another mistake that I make is an obvious one when hunting on public land. I would make the mistake to think that midday is no good. And here's the difference between midday and early morning. You get on a bird early in the morning, say you get there an hour before daylight, you get set up, gobbling bird on the roost, and he pitches down, that you call that bird and he gobbles, and eventually he attracts hens through his gobbling and then wanders off, leaving you behind. Has no intentions of coming to you. The big mistake that you might make would be thinking that the hunt's over, that maybe he's gone off with his hens, and if your tendency is to go home or go have breakfast or go, you know, scout out new areas or try and find another bird, well, that would quite possibly be a mistake that you might make as well. The only worst thing than leaving early is not realizing that staying later could be to your advantage. If you can make the mistake of not giving the middle of the day enough credit, that you would arrive to your turkey hunt or arrive to the management area at, let's say, 10:30 in the morning rather than 5:30. A lot of hunters have gone home and given up, and that bird's still out there somewhere. And for you to go out into that woods and to wander aimlessly would be to your advantage. A gobbling bird early in the morning, say a gobbling bird at 7 o'clock in the morning, is gobbling to attract hens. A gobbling bird in the afternoon is a gobbling bird trying to find hens. And if you were to set up on a gobbling bird in the middle of the afternoon or in the middle of the morning that's gobbling, your chances of calling that bird in go up. To forsake the mid-morning hunt would be a mistake, and it's a mistake that I've made. And yeah, I've actually left when I heard birds gobble, and for some reason thought that they were too far or someplace else, and I couldn't get to them. And yeah, it wasn't in my best interest to continue hunting and give up on the hunt. You never, ever, ever want to leave a gobbling bird, and if you can help it. And it makes no difference what time of day it is, whether it be in the morning or in the... He's chances are early morning off the roost, he's going somewhere. But in the middle of the day, yeah, all bets are off. Let's see, what other mistakes have I made? All right, here's one that I've made. Trying to get too close to a bird. Heard the bird gobbling, and yeah, walking down through the tree line, thinking, well, you know what? I can get a little closer to that bird, and not realizing he's on a roost and can see you. So like we talked in the last video, 100 yards in timber would be as close as in open woods. Yeah, right where I'm sitting is the best place to get. I would not drop down any closer than 100 yards from a gobbling turkey that's in timber, and it just doesn't work for me. So those are some of the mistakes that I've made turkey hunting. Calling too much. Yeah, I call too much, and sometimes, you know, on private land, sometimes it's called too little. And yeah, if hens get with the gobbler, well, then the hunt for now is over. And it's hard to call in a group of birds. It's hard to call in hens and a gobbler that are all set up, already doing their daily routine, and you're sitting out there calling to him. He might gobble, but he has no intentions of coming. You might be better off just not calling to that bird at all. Let him get his business done, and then come back, or maybe get back on that bird later on in the day. So that's today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm kind of doing a off the cuff. I really had no plan for the video today, but I'm in the Ocala National Forest fishing today. I got a guy at the ramp over there. There's the lake, and yeah, I'm glad you got to witness me finally catching a bass on video. I just turned on the video when I saw the cork go under. So that really worked out. That really worked out good. So yeah, I got a quota permit for the first 9 days on my favorite management area, and I'm looking forward to it. It's in 2 weeks. I think today's the 1st, And so we got 2 weeks to go, and it's gonna be epic. I hope you got a quota permit. If you don't, search out some of the areas that you can hunt without a quota permit. I think you can hunt Osceola. Osceola is worth the drive up. Osceola National Forest is up in North Florida, just off of Interstate 10. It's easy to get to. You can go straight up 75, right, and get off on Interstate 10 and access it. Look up the map. The map is there at fwc.com under brochures. Just click in Osceola and it'll come up. Now that's one of those management areas where you could probably just go cold and go turkey hunting there and just find a spot, because there's birds all over. There's some places that don't have any birds and some places that do. They're scattered out. You just have to give it a try and see what unfolds. And another one that you could go to if you don't have a quota permit would be oh, it escapes me now. Lockaloosa. Give Lockaloosa a try. There are birds there. There's not a whole lot of birds there, but usually it's very, very wet, and Lockaloosa is dry right now, so that might be an option. Same with Osceola. Osceola's pretty dry right now too, and Green Swamp is dry. And yeah, I'm looking forward to a dry season. I remember year before last, it was so wet everywhere I went. It was just soaking wet. Soaking wet, I'm talking about, you know, knee-deep water. Everywhere I wanted to go was knee-deep water, and that's kind of a pain in the neck. Okay, so that's today's video. My name is Peter Updike, and this is the Wild Treasures of an Outdoorsman YouTube channel, and I'm enjoying my Ocala National Forest getaway fishing trip before spring gobbler season. All right, love you guys. See ya. Bye.